Okay, Flavor Chef back here. We're gonna do some just some slicing and dicing now and get you a few basic cuts. So the first thing we do is peel this carrot. I wanted to show you how to peel a carrot. Again, from the basics of cooking, we like to use the table. The table just makes things very stable and very flat and very firm. A lot of people peel up here and it's just difficult to do. Use the table. One little cut here. Look at this. Pretty simple. Peeling and not peeling, I'll just say this, it's just basically preference. Once the carrots are washed, you turn it back over. How easy is that? And we do like to peel on the board. Keeps things just sanitary and neat and clean. We'll put those over there. So then we're going to do a cut, your basic cut. Let's do our basic thing. First, we're going to take the tip off here in the end. And we're going to do a basic dice. So what we want to dice this carrot. Dicing has a few different points. It's small dice, something called a brunoise, really small dice, fine dice. And then you'd have a medium dice, small dice, medium dice, large dice, rough chop. That's sort of the panoply of what you could do with this. So with a carrot and with anything you're cutting, the main thing you want to do is try to get it flat. So the first thing we're going to do, and we want to get it manageable. So we're going to cut things into about 3-inch pieces. So we're going to go look at this carrot. So okay, we got about 3 pieces. We got 3 pieces of the carrot. Then let's take this carrot. This one's pretty good. We're going to take one end off the carrot. Now the carrot is flat. Once the carrot is flat, then I can decide I'm going to make brunoise, I'll make the small dice. So we're going to come in. One thing I want to show you here too is this grip. The knife grip, this is important. It's the 3 fingers around the back, 2 on the tang right here. And if you do a lot of cutting, eventually you will get a nice little callus right there. Mine is missing because I haven't done too much cutting lately, been more managing than cutting. But yes, so we're going to come straight down. The other thing with this is, it's called a pivot point. You'll see there's a nice X on the thing here. So my position is pretty good. I've got a little bit of flex in my knees. If I'm cutting a lot, if you're at home, you probably just be more casual. But that's sort of the way it goes. Then the second thing is the claw. This is a big one I teach all my culinary students. The claw is very important. You're going to hang your fingers down, and you're going to run that knife. It seems dangerous, but what's going to happen is you got this whole part of your knife, and why is it so wide? It's wide so that you can actually keep your finger right on there. If I don't move that claw, then I'm not going to cut anything. You see this? This is a pivot point motion right here. That's for chopping. So when we start the carrot, we're up on the top, and we're going to just start slicing down. And you see I keep my finger right next to the edge of the knife. We can turn it over to flat again. This will make some nice sticks. Those would be called a baton right there. And then we're going to make these into what they call juliennes. Juliennes, we could stack up 2. Again, if you try to stack more than 1 at a time, you want to just make everything manageable. So this is going to be a nice julienne. It's an 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8 by about 2 inches. I might be technically off there, but this is about what you call them, matchsticks, julienne sticks. When we use julienne in the restaurant, we basically want to get to something like this. In very fine dining restaurants with very potentially French chefs, they may say, reject it, whatever. But if we're cutting at home, eating at home, we just want the vegetables and food to look good. So that's what you have, a nice matchstick there. Julienne, nice, pretty accurate there. We're going to pull some aside and just do a quick brunoise. The brunoise, again, the main thing with the brunoise is 1/8 by 1/8 small cut. And we're going to just basically cut that dice. See, I'm just moving nice and easily. And really keeping that knife, you want to feel that cold edge of that knife right against your fingertips, against your front knuckle. Fingertips are down below. They're in the back. They're out of the way. They'll never get cut. Most of the times when I cut myself, it's reaching into the knife bag or something to that effect. We'll move that to the side. Now we do a medium dice. And this is the most dice we're probably going to use for anybody. Again, we're just going to cut the edge of the carrot off. Turn the carrot over, and then we're going to widen up the carrot. Got a nice 3 pieces of the carrot there, get it all on the flat side. And this is just going to go in 2. These would be the perfect size for a crudité platter, for dipping into hummus, things like that. But if we want to make it into a dice for our soup or for our chicken soup, we're just going to go like this. I'll turn that off in a second. Then we have a nice medium dice right there. Get to a large dice. Take the end off. Nice 3-inch piece here. And a large dice, again, it might only be 1 piece. I always like to start with it flat. Boom. Boom. Nice big piece of carrot there. Turn it to the flat side on the round edges. Once in half, once in half, once in half. So you've got a nice big, large dice. So what you want, the main thing with cooking and using vegetables is you want them all to be the same size when you have an opportunity to do it. So there's your 4 cuts right there. I said I could use up all my mise en place to make the soup.
Like an alien.
Very cute alien.
Yeah, with the head.
This is just a rough cut here for the soup we're going to make a little later. I'll do a quick bias cut too. We're going to cut an onion now, folks. We're going to just take this thing. This is a very important technique. I've cut millions of onions at this point in my career. We're going to take the top and bottom off. Make a little cut right there and basically peel back this outside brown skin. Now, if you're making broth and you're making vegetable broths and chicken broths, we actually use this. We use the whole onion, and the brown skins, I learned later in my career, the brown skins add color and a lot of depth of golden color. So they're actually safe to eat and good to eat. You can throw a little water around there, and all this stuff is going to be saved for your broth. And that's going to be real good. The only thing we're not going to use is little end pieces there, but everything else will be saved. So the onion, very important technique here. We're going to cut the onion in half again. Probably going to cry a little bit because these are not sweet onions. Again, we have a half. So this is called a mince. So we're going to mince this onion. You see the onion has a bunch of ridges in there. And so we're just going to follow that down. Notice we leave the root end in. We just go across. There's the claw again. Nice cut down. And again, as thick as you want the onion. Then you're going to turn the onion to the side. I get down a little bit on my body technique here. Just nice and slow. When I'm cutting through the onion, I use a little saw technique. Just go back and forth. Maybe 3 cuts is plenty. And then you're going to use the pivot point. Claw, pivot point, straight down. Beautiful diced onion. We can dice up the rest of that onion later, but for our purposes here, that's perfect. This will definitely be used. We can cut it into other things. The other thing you do is slice an onion, and slice it with rings would be this way. You have nice onion rings like there. If you do the whole thing around, you get onion rings, get onion slices. But we like to slice julienne onions, and that would be this direction. The reason is these will stay together in your soups and sauces because they run a long way with the ridges. So that's a nice julienne slice right there. And we're going to use all this onion in our soup later. So we're going to follow the rest of this pay. When you get to here, you turn it over. Again, I'm always working on the flat side. And you're just going to cut through here. Some people take the root out. I leave the root in, man. You know, there's a principle of you are what you eat, right? We want strong roots. I put the root in there. There's nothing wrong with it. Just cook it down. I would use stems, all kinds of things. People throw broccoli stems away. Why throw a broccoli stem away? It's delicious. We're going to show you some broccoli a little later, too. Blanching and cooking and using those stems. But then we go to a final mince here. See, again, you're always pushing from the back on the knife. I'm going to final mince, and that's a little bit different. Again, for a nice soup show point, we would just use the ends. Chef might have us cut these up, put them in a sauce or something where you're not going to see them so much because it won't be quite as accurate, but all the same size. And this would be nice for like a soup where you're going to see those nice diced cut onions in there.